Hi guys, welcome to Daddy and the Don. It's the return of the punditry team. We're looking at week 11 of the Premier League, and to kick us off, it's Laura with Southampton versus Villa.
Hi guys, my game this week is Southampton v Aston Villa. Firstly, what's going on with Villa? They've had 4 straight defeats now and are facing a team away from home who are very hard to beat. You know, Southampton don't win many, but they don't lose many. They're a decent side, but on paper, Villa are the better team. But on this occasion, I do think that Southampton are going to nick a win, and they're going to win 2-1.
Man United v Manchester City, the Manchester derby. This game is a very interesting one for both sides. Man United have just come off a 3-0 win at home, away to Spurs. Well, Man City lost 2-0 at home to Palace. A massive shock on Man City's behalf. But when you have these derbies, our form goes out the window. They could both be 19th and 20th. One could be first, one could be last in the league. And they're just going to cancel each other out. This should be a fascinating watch because Solskjaer's still under a lot of pressure. And for me, Pep Guardiola's under pressure. Everyone I always hear about Pep being this and that, but hasn't won in the Champions League yet. They've just lost 2-0. They're now trailing beyond the leaders Chelsea. This is going to be a fascinating game. I think a lot of people are going to take a lot of interest into this. All right, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I literally can't split. I keep thinking Man U are going to win. Ronaldo's going to be the biz, and I think Man City are going to respond well after that embarrassing defeat to Palace. But I'm going to go a 1-1 draw. I'm going to actually go for a Bruno Fernandes goal for Manchester United to take the lead, and I am going to go for a Kevin De Bruyne equaliser quite late on. So Manchester United 1, Manchester City 1.
So my game this week is Norwich versus Brentford. Looking at this game, you know, both teams suffered a defeat at the weekend. Obviously Norwich is still looking for their first elusive win. Confidence isn't going to be very high with them sitting in the bottom 3. Brentford, even though they got beat the weekend, I still reckon they're still going to be full of confidence and probably go into this game with the mentality that they could quite easily win this game, especially if they play how they have done previously. So for that, I'm going to go with a Brentford win. I'm going to say 3-1 Brentford.
Hey, so basically, I got the Chelsea versus Burnley game. This is quite a nice and simple game, to be honest. It is a big game at the same time, though, especially for Burnley. They are bottom 3. It's a they're like one of the relegation candidates, and they had a lucky win against us last time. Whereas Chelsea, they're the top of the table. They're like hardcore. They're at home, so like when you're at home, you really want a win. And of course, they have N'Golo Kante. Like nothing's wrong with that. I don't expect like an upset for like Burnley, because I feel like Burnley will get a goal in. It may be a bit difficult because Mendy's fantastic, in my opinion, but I feel like they would score, and I feel like this will be a home win to Chelsea still, and I think it'll be 2-1.
Crystal Palace versus Wolves. Both teams come off wins for last week. Wolves beating Everton at home, which doesn't come as a surprise. Everton inconsistent away from home, and Palace with a fantastic victory at Man City. Well, I see this game being quite an edgy game. Not many chances in the first half. Both teams don't win as many, especially Palace. They like to draw, and especially at home. I do think Wolves are the better team, and I think Wolves will have the better chances as the game goes on. But this is a draw for me. Don't normally back a draw, but today I will, and I'm going to go for 0-0.
Brighton versus Newcastle is very interesting to me. I think Brighton had a very difficult weekend against Man City. It's a tough match for anyone. I thought they made a good account of themselves. I thought they did well to get a goal. Coming up against Newcastle, who, after the recent takeover, there was a level of optimism with the fans. I'm not entirely sure why, because they still have the same foundations in the club, the same players. All right, now they've got rid of the manager. Without a manager at the moment, still yet to appoint a new one as of this moment. But I can't see a lot changing for Newcastle. I think it's going to be an interesting rest of the season for them. Whether they try and make some moves in the January window is yet to be seen. But it's unknown whether they'll actually stay in the league this season. They're in the relegation places at the moment. I know it's only early in the season, but that's worth looking at. And they may have to call in Big Sam at some point. We'll have to wait and see. But so I think it's a tough one to call. But I do think Brighton are going to be too much for Newcastle, especially at home. It's a long trip. And I do like Potter as a manager. I know Graham isn't his biggest fan, but I think he's a decent manager. I think he does well with the side. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Brighton.
For this week, I have been given Arsenal versus Watford. Where do I begin? I think Arsenal's form will take them over the line in this match. I don't know where this form has come from. I don't know what Arteta has done, but I'll hold my hands up and say whatever they've done, it's been working well for them. As much as I hate Arsenal, how they've been playing, it's just been up there. They made Leicester look silly. They've been not destroying, but they've been playing really well against the lower league teams. But yeah, that was a very surprise win against Leicester. So I can see them, their form passing them over the line. Ramsdale, where do I begin? His form has been magnificent. He's turned into Manuel Neuer. I don't know what he's been doing, who's been coaching him, but that person needs a pay rise. But yeah, and Smith Rowe, he's another player which has been standing out for me. He's killing it since he's got that number 10 shirt. I think that pressure of number 10 has got the good side of him out. But yeah, I can see Arsenal crossing the line with this in a 2-1 win to Arsenal. 2-1 Arsenal.
Everton versus Tottenham on Sunday afternoon. With recent happenings at White Hart Lane, I think the introduction of Conte as manager now, and he's going to have a game to get the house in order. And even though they've lost their last 2 games, I think they're going to be good enough to beat Everton on the day. Everton, on the other hand, they've lost the last 3 straight games. Benitez, he could well surprise many people, but they're still very leaky at the back, and I think Tottenham, they'll get themselves together, and I can see them winning maybe 2-1. It could be a close game, but I think Tottenham will come out 2-1.
Leeds versus Leicester, very difficult one to predict. Genuinely believe all 3 possibilities are on the table. Noticed when they played last season, it was the away team that won on both occasions. So looking at this season, Leicester had been on good form until the last game. Obviously lost to Arsenal, they were very poor. Leeds have been on a very inconsistent poor form, especially compared to last season. They were high scoring games, like Rocky matches. This season, very low scoring games, so I don't know quite what's happened there, but they only beat Norwich, so I'm not going to jump on the Leeds bandwagon on this one. I think Leicester probably was a bad day at the office, but they had been playing well before that, so I'm going to go 2-1 Leicester to carry on with the away wins in this tie.
Well, I've got West Ham Liverpool games on Sunday. Tough one for me to predict here. Liverpool, obviously off the back of a 2-2 draw against Brighton, 2 up, drawing the game 2-2. Wouldn't expect that from Liverpool, but fair play to Brighton. They got the job done, came back well. West Ham on a good one at the moment, going on in League Cup, New Europa League. Maybe they're punching above their weight. I don't know. Who knows? Let's wait and see at the end of the season. But credits them. They're doing well. Liverpool know how dangerous they are. West Ham at home, in front of their own fans. I think West Ham can get at Liverpool's offence. Brighton showed that in the last game. Keep going at Liverpool's offence, you can get at them. So I think West Ham can win the game. I think Liverpool can win the game. I don't think it'll be a draw. Liverpool will know how good they are. But I'm going to go. I think I've got City for now. I'm going to go for West Ham 3, Liverpool 2.